I love doing radio. I love, meeting the people and getting to know the stories and bringing that to the Phantom listeners as well. With Phantom in 2002, Phantom had been part for nearly 10 years at that stage, and in 2002 they got a temporary licence from the BCI. So we started back with them part-time for that succession of that temporary licence, and then in 2003 they got granted another temporary licence. So before that I hadn't really presented, but because I was DJing with this all-girl trio called Chicks and Decks, I got involved with Dave Fanning's show, as part of the single reviews kind of panel. So from there, word kind of got around and people recommended me to Phantom, and then I put in a little demo. So that's how it kind of got started. So then 2006, obviously they started off with the full-term licence, so I started off again part-time, and then earlier this year Edel Coffey moved on from Access All Areas and I took over from her, and then a few months after that I started my own show, Front Row, which has been running for I think 2 months now in Phantom. So it's my dream job, I guess, when I realised back in 2002, sitting in that seat, getting to play music, which obviously I love doing with DJing, but also beginning to talk about it a bit more, regarding news stories or like new music stories, as well as, bringing new music to people as well and entertaining people. I just realised this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So it's kind of the dream job for me, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, Front Row, I guess it's a magazine-style entertainment show involving an even balance of entertainment. So importantly, the music, of course, the music which we go out between 12 noon and 2 o'clock. We also have music guests. So a lot of great music guests. I mean, last Friday, I think I had a bit of an emotional moment because I had Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses, Velvet Revolver and Loaded in the studio, who was in for about half an hour, I think. And he was joined by other members from his band Loaded. They played 2 songs. So for me, that was just something beyond my wildest dreams of a 15-year-old. I never thought I'd ever, have the day where I'd meet someone like him. So it's just getting in behind the scenes, bringing that to people with those kind of music guests, as well as entertainment updates from what's happening around the world. And we've got different global correspondents like Antonia Campbell-Hughes, who's a designer turned actress living in London. So she's telling us a lot about up-and-coming bands that she sees, and she gets to travel a lot, so she'll talk about Paris Fashion Week and in LA. We've also got Hardy Full of NME, he's living in New York at the moment, so telling us about MGMT playing New York Fashion Week and getting them to see this free show in a swimming pool in New York. So really, getting down to what's happening on the ground in places like that as well. Griner, obviously a Canadian singer, she's going to be part of that as well, from reporting from Canada. So it's to bring people closer to what's really going on around the world, as well as in Dublin and Ireland. So there's such a healthy scene really of Irish bands at the moment, and I guess Phantom is all about bringing those kind of bands to the forefront as well and getting the chance to promote them. So one that we got behind, there's 2 bands that come to mind straight away, one being Ham Sandwich. Of course, we their debut album, they're doing so well. They're playing here at the music show at the moment. And Phylic Apes, of course, just brought out their debut album last week. So that was just, there's just such talent. Codes comes to mind. I know they're working with Greg Haver, who produced Manic Street Preachers. They're working on bringing out their debut album as well. Even the likes of Halves as well, another great Irish band. There's so much going on. And as well as that, from so many different genres of music as well. So there's another one I heard of recently called Abadisi Shank, and one of the guys from Vinnie Club is involved in that, and that's more instrumental. It's kind of like Relic Manifesto and Fast Forward. So it's nice that there's so many different genres represented so well here in Ireland, and I guess a lot of bands can get stuck in Ireland and in Dublin, going around the toilet circuit or playing wheelings so often, but it's great for bands like Phylic Apes are now getting the exposure in the UK, and I know they're on tour at the moment with the Ting Tings. So it's just so much band. I mean, with the added bonus of MySpace and the internet, it's now easier for bands to get their music out there. So it's just so healthy. I can't really keep up with it all.